What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Now on this channel, I go over the key levels and catalysts that I'm focusing on for the week, along with a watch list of stock tickers that I may trade, okay? Now in this video, I'm going to be going over my watch list for the trading week of October 10th, 2022. Let's get to it. All right, first up, the catalyst. Now, earnings season begins with some of the big banks and financial firms like JP Morgan, BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, and Citigroup. Other notables reporting will be Taiwan Semiconductor, Pepsi, and United Health Group. On Wednesday, we get the Producer Price Index inflation data. Also, the FOMC meeting minutes from September will be released. On Thursday, we will get the Consumer Price Index inflation numbers, and on Friday, we'll get the retail sales data. So as you can see, there are several potential reasons for a volatile market this upcoming week, and it should be fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at this week's earnings calendar. All right, so even though there are no earnings scheduled for Monday, the markets will be open. We have Pepsi on Wednesday, TSM on Thursday, and some large banks on Friday. With all this economic data coming out late in the week, where these stock prices will be when these companies finally release their statistics is anyone's guess. But like always, we'll just go ahead and play what we see. Let's get started with this week's watch list. All right, so we're going to start off the watch list with the indexes. First up, the QQQ, and here I have it on the weekly chart. Now, if I zoom in on this weekly candle right here, you'll see that the Qs ended up with a gravestone doji formation. All right. Now, normally when you see this at the top of an uptrend, it represents a trend change to the downside. But when you see a gravestone doji at the bottom of a downtrend, it normally represents a continuation to the downside, okay? But as you know, we can't predict these things, so we're gonna go ahead and prepare for both scenarios, all right? So let's go ahead and move down to the daily chart and look at the levels for the week. Now, right now, the QQQ is sitting around $269. First off, the bullish scenario, it has to get above $270. If it does, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around 280. If it can get above that, 290. Now the bearish scenario, if it cannot get above $270, I'm looking for it to come down and test around 260. So you can see it's like $10 increments in all of these. But if it gets to 260 and it cannot hold 260, I'm looking for it to drop all the way down to around 240, okay? So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is SPY, and here I have it pulled up on the daily chart. Now let's take a look at the bullish scenario first. Right now it's sitting around $363. It needs to hold that level, and if it can, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is around $375.50. If it can get above that, up to around $386. Now the bearish scenario, if it cannot hold $363, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is $360. If it can't hold that, all the way down to around $340. And just in case you're curious, the pandemic lows is all the way down here from May of 2020 at $220 or so. All right, but keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, so the first stock we're going to look at is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL, and here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart. Now the levels that I had from last week still apply to this week. One of the levels to the downside that we called out was around $139, and we broke through that and ended up closing around 140 though. So if you took this play, congratulations. All right, now first off, the bullish scenario, like I said, we're sitting at 140. It needs to hold $140. If it does, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is around $147.50. If it can get through that, the next level is going to be $151.50. If it can get through that, up to around $157. All right. Now, if it cannot hold $140 or get above $140, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is all the way down to around $132. Okay. So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA, and here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart. I have it on the weekly chart so you can see how large this weekly sell-off candle was. Now, this all began because earlier in the week, when the news came out that Elon conceded to buy Twitter for around $44 billion, this sell-off happened. It went from around $257 all the way down to $222, but ended up closing at around $223. So if you are a part of this, congratulations to you. Now let's go ahead and look at the levels for this week. Like I said, it's around $223 right now. The bullish scenario, it needs to get above $225. If it does, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around $233. If it can get through that, the next level is going to be around $248. If it can get above that, all the way up to around $268. Now the bearish scenario, if it cannot get above $225, I'm looking for it to drop all the way down to around $211, $210. Now, if it can't hold that, the next psychological level is going to be, of course, around 200. It probably will struggle around there, but if it can't hold 200, the next level down is all the way down here at around $181, okay? So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is Taiwan Semiconductor, ticker symbol TSM, and here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart. If I zoom in a little bit, this gray part right here is the volume profile showing the amount of buyer accumulation or stock accumulation in those areas, okay? Now, we've been covering semiconductors for quite a few weeks now, and they've been having a hard time just selling off, including AMD and Nvidia also, all right? And when we covered this one, I think maybe last week or the week before, we said that it could possibly come all the way down to around $61, showing that this very thin buyer accumulation area right here, and it looked like it could possibly get there, all right? Especially with their earnings coming out on Thursday, a lot could happen before then, all right? But let's go ahead and take a look at the levels for this upcoming week. Right now, it's sitting around $70. It needs to hold $70. If it does, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around $73.50. If it can get above that, up to around $76. If it can get above that, up to around $78. And if it can get above that, up to $80. Okay, you can see these are like $2 increments to the upside. Now the bearish scenario, if it cannot hold $70 or get above $70, I am looking for it to come all the way down to around $61 prior to their earnings, okay? So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, and the last one we're going to look at is United Parcel Service, ticker symbol UPS. And here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart. Now, the last time we talked about this one, it was on my watch list because of this thin accumulation range between $154 and $125. And this came about because back in August of 2020, it had two really good green weeks where it ran straight up and didn't get a chance to accumulate many shares in this range right here. And as you can see, on our way down, we're at $159 right now. So we could possibly touch or test this range of $154 this upcoming week. So what I'll be doing is watching this very strong support level where you can see it touch several times in the past. But if it breaks through here and gets through the 200-week moving average, it could easily fall, in my opinion, all the way down to $125. So this is what I'm going to be watching. So first off, the bullish scenario right now is sitting at $159. It has to get above 160. If it does, the first level that I'm going to be looking at is $167.25. If it can get through that, this consolidation range right here, around $177.50. Now, if it cannot get above $160, I'm looking for it to come and test around $154. This is the bearish scenario. And if it cannot hold $154, I'm looking for it to come all the way down eventually. It may not be this week or the next coming week, but over time to test all the way down to around $125. So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. And that is the end of the video. If you found value, please smash that like button and consider subscribing. Here's wishing you a prosperous week of trading, and until next week, talk to you later.